Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the next video, I can't remember what number it is, the next video in the build of the Ocean Breeze. This is the prototype kit of the John Woodfield design. Ewan's done it, in the last video you'd have seen that Ewan's done a very good job with the first fuselage side. As you can see, he's carried on and he's got the second side done. What we're going to look at doing now is getting this one off the board, trimming up the ends, the tail end where the longer ones are too long, and getting it ready and set up for actually joining the fuselage sides on the plan view plan, if that makes any sense. What we're going to have to do is do a couple of glue joints first, let that totally dry before we actually start doing other glue joints to give it shape. So there's a section in the middle that's actually parallel, so we get all of those done first and then go from there to make sure that it's all built nice and true. So we'll crack on with that just now. Okay, so as you can hopefully see, we've now got two fuselage sides on the bench. Down here is the plan view plan, if that makes sense, of the Ocean Breeze. Two sides built left hand and right hand. The only difference being is these diagonal members is the side of which they're flush to. The plan now is to pin the sides to the plan. Not easy doing it one-handed. Pin the sides to the plan in the appropriate place for the straight section, which is roughly from my finger to there. That's the parallel section of the fuselage. Get the other side pinned down the same place, and then put in what will be the top cross members on that parallel section, and then let that dry, and then we can put the cross members on the bottom, which is currently the top, on that parallel section, and then let that dry. Once that's done, we can then start to pull in the tail end and do the same, and pulling in the nose end to do the same. So first job is getting it pinned up and getting some members in. Right then, so we've got something that's now starting to look like a fuselage. You've done a good job getting this framed up. What we've done is we've got the cross members in the parallel section. So from here to here is where the fuselage is parallel and straight. In front of this it bends in, and behind that it bends in. So the bottom cross members are in, the top cross members are in, the bottom cross members are in. I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but in here there's some slightly deeper cross members. They're 1/4 by 3/4, and they've got holes in them already for the snakes to go through. Again, it's something I'm going to look at for the kit, for the production kit, and getting them all laser cut properly. So what we're going to do now is we're going to leave this to cure for a couple of hours at least, and then when we come back to this, we're going to see about bending the tail end in and getting the cross members put into that. But in the meantime, Ewan's going to carry on making a second fin and a second tailplane, because we are going to be making a second fuselage, experimental fuselage for electric power, but probably more on that in a later video. So we'll come back to you in a bit. Okay guys, lost you for a bit there. We progressed a little bit without filming it, to be honest. We now have probably a 97% complete fuselage. Ewan has done probably 97% of the work in building it, and I'm actually really proud of what he's done and what he's achieved. It's square, it's straight to the plan, it's curved where it's meant to be curved. So where have we got to? Well, at the moment everything is in, should be in. The servo tray here is just still gluing just now. We've got the battery tray in the front, and we've used that to shape the front end. The front end's all been pulled in to that shape, and it follows the plan as well. All the cross members have been put in to support it as it's going. We haven't done anything untoward at the front end, apart from the very forwardmost cross members. Instead of using quarter by quarter, I've used quarter by ½ inch, just to give it a bit more strength at the front end. Not that it should need it, but and it's probably just excess weight, but it's just something that I've done. The nose block needs to be glued on, but to do that we need to sand the front flat and square. I'm going to do that when everything's fully cured. Moving back, as I said, the servo tray is glued in. I have put, or Ewan has put, 2 additional cross members in to support the servo tray. I can't see them on the plan, but if they're not on the plan, I'm going to get the plan annotated to say that needs in there, because otherwise that servo tray is going to be quite flimsy. At the back end, this piece here is loose, because that's just a spacer to keep the back end at the right spacing for the fin to go in. We have got the fin and rudder already built. You've probably seen that in the previous video. You can probably grab that actually, just to lay it in there to show people what we've got. So that's the fin and rudder in place. Obviously just dry fitted, should we say. It's going to be more than strong enough. One thing that I have seen, just by putting it in, is that it's a bit wobbly there, so we might put another little cross member in there just to support it a little bit, give it some more strength. I don't know how well you'll be able to see on the angle there, but the underfin comes up and meets the bottom of the fuselage quite nicely. Now, in Ewan's hand, he's got the tailplane, an elevator. This is going to sit the other way around. Okay, somewhere there. But what it needs is the tailplane supports put in so that it sits up and at the right incidence, which is -2 degrees off the top of my head. Now, what we're actually doing with this, the plan doesn't call for it, but that, just on a bit of 1/4 inch wide balsa, could be quite flimsy in transit. So we're actually designing a removable tail section, or removable tail, which is going to hopefully enable this to be less, what's the word?
Damaged in transport.
Yeah, less susceptible to getting damaged in transit. It means you can take the tailplane off when you're moving it around. It makes it a very thin fuselage. You know, you can store it almost like that somehow. All it would be then is just 2 bolts to hold the tailplane on, and 1 clevis for the elevator. The parts, again, I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, even if it's in focus, but that's going to be on top of or alongside the other parts that are in the kit. This might well be in the kit when we come to release the kit, but this is just ideas at the moment. So this will sit something like that, with the balsa on the outside, as per the plan. The balsa that's on the plan will sit outside, this will sit inside it, with extra support, T-nuts, and then bolts will go through the tailplane, which has got balsa inserts to go in, and that will make it a removable tailplane. So yeah, that is the fuselage, 97% complete in the build. Without the fin and rudder, but with these 4 clamps on, it weighs 130 grams. So I would say, take the clamps off, put the fin on, about 130 grams, which isn't bad for a fuselage that's now 50 plus inches long. Probably more than that, probably 55, something like that. and it's strong as well. I thought it was going to be quite flimsy in torsion, but it's not. It's actually quite strong. I was going to put some diagonals, lightweight diagonals inside to strengthen it up. I don't think it's needed. The designer, John, obviously didn't think it was needed, otherwise he wouldn't put them in. So what's next? Well, we've got a few little bits and pieces to do, as in we can do the tailplane mount and look at that, getting that mod work done. There is a piece to go on there, I think, which is a triangular section, which is for like a fairing for the wing to butt up against. In fact, I'm sure it'll be there. We can glue that on, and then really it's going to be moving on to the wing, which I suspect will be the next part in this video series. We do need to clear the bench to do that because the wing's quite wide, and it's going to be 88-inch wingspan when it's built as one piece. But yeah, if you're liking this sort of build, please give us a thumbs up and a like. If you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. If you wish to comment on it, ask a question, do so in the comments below. They're all read, they're all replied to as and when they're posted. But from Ewan and myself here in the workshop just now, we'll catch you again next time.